सलाहकार प्रोफेसर अजय कुमार सूद जी, जैव प्रौद्योगिकी विभाग के सचिव डॉक्टर राजेश गोखले जी और विज्ञान एवं प्रौद्योगिकी विभाग के अपर सचिव श्री सुनील कुमार जी का भी स्वागत है। आज की प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस का स्वरूप कुछ इस प्रकार होगा। सबसे पहले डॉक्टर राजेश गोखले सचिव जैव प्रौद्योगिकी विभाग अपने विचार साझा करेंगे। इसके बाद प्रोफेसर अजय कुमार सूद भारत सरकार के प्रधान वैज्ञानिक सलाहकार आपके समक्ष अपने विचार रखेंगे। तत्पश्चात विज्ञान और प्रौद्योगिकी विभाग के अपर सचिव श्री सुनील कुमार जी द्वारा शोध कार्य को आसान बनाने के लिए आवश्यक प्रमुख हस्तक्षेप यानी प्रोविजंस मेड फॉर ईज ऑफ डूइंग रिसर्च पर प्रेजेंटेशन दिया जाएगा और तत्पश्चात माननीय मंत्री जी मीडिया को संबोधित करेंगे। हम पत्रकारों से प्रश्न उसके बाद लेंगे। आप मंत्री जी से सबसे पहले डॉक्टर राजेश गोखले जी से अनुरोध है कि वे अपने विचार साझा करें।
Namaskar and a very good afternoon to all of you. Honorable Minister of Science and Technology and Earth Sciences, Dr. Jitendra Singh ji, respected Principal Scientific Advisor, Professor Ajay Sood ji, Principal Director General Press Information Bureau, Sri Dhirendra Oja ji, DST Additional Secretary, Sri Sunil Kumar ji, my colleagues from Department of Science and Technology and DBT, directors of colleagues of DBT BRIC institutions, press and media colleagues and friends. I think first of all, I thank you all for coming here today on this Sunday afternoon for a very important announcement that makes a significant step towards achieving ease of doing science in this country, that will foster more research-friendly environment and create a much better ecosystem for carrying out research without any administrative and hurdles. I think, as you know, the world-class research requires not only brilliant minds, but robust institutions, but also you require administrative ecosystem that enables scientists to focus on science of today. In any case, if you really look at science in our country is at its peak right now. I mean, we've never had, you take any measurable parameter, in every measurable parameter, whether it's got to do with publications, both quality and quantity, patents, infrastructure, mission programs, investments in the scientific perspective, from every possible way we are actually doing and increasing our, enhancing our quality, our enhancement numbers in the science and technology and innovation ecosystem. Of course, startups have been growing at a fastest possible pace in the country. Now, to support this, government has introduced a modified procurement and financial system, which is actually more tailored and suitable for scientific research institutions. And that has been one of the key demand from various institutions and across the systems and across all the institutions, universities and all these activities. And of course, the reason is obviously is that, the speed, the autonomy and the flexibility does impacts the quality of science that you do actually. However, what these OMs has done, couple of OMs that have been come out, is actually that also ensures that the transparency and accountability is maintained actually. And therefore, the scientific work that sometimes get throttled by conventional procurement delays and GFRs, which have been one of the key bottlenecks, is now actually overcome by providing a clean, much amount of flexibility in the system that is quite transformative. The ease of doing research is obviously one of our country's key ambition. I mean, it's similar to ease of doing good business. And the key to this is that India wants to become a global cutting edge hub for research and innovation ecosystem actually. And to be able to do that, we need to provide enabling and compliant environment with best possible expertise, balancing ease with responsibility. And I really think that these kind of processes and procedures that have been come up with are truly transformative for our country's future progress. The GFR guidelines are extremely, sought after by all the PIs, and it was celebrated when many of them got to know, and Honorable Minister's leadership has been amazing in this perspective. Also, the Principal Scientific Advisor and DST Secretary is not here today, but he's been also playing a very, very important role in all of these activities. And we believe that this landmark change will not only expedite research workflows, but will also allow us to attract the talent from across the world. Innovation will happen, and eventually this will accelerate our country's progress in an unprecedented way towards Viksit Bharat. So thank you very much for all of you for taking time, for the media people, and and for asking important questions that are very relevant to today's topic. And I also thank Honorable Minister again and PSA sir for being over here actually, and all of you being here. Thank you.
Sir Ajay Kumar Sood, Principal Scientific Advisor, to express his views. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Let me add my words of thanks and welcome to all of you for coming for this very important press briefing. Dr. Jitendra Singh ji on the dais, Dr. Rajesh Gokhale, Shri Sunil Kumar, Shri Dhirendra Roja, all the people from scientific fraternity, press, and all the well-wishers of science and technology. This, as was mentioned, is a very welcome step which has been taken by the government to really do ease of doing research. So I just thought that there couldn't be a better way but to recall what our Honorable Prime Minister said on January 3rd, 2015, the Indian Science Congress inauguration. This was the first one after he took office. So I'll just quote it, and that really reflects what has been happening since then. I quote, "When I speak of ease of doing business in India, I also want to pay equal attention to ease of doing research and development in India. We need to put science, technology, and innovation at the top of national priorities." Then he added, "Our universities must be freed from excessive regulations and cumbersome procedures. They must have a higher degree of academic freedom and autonomy." And then he ended his that address, which I really like. He said, "We must revive the romance of science in society and rekindle the love for it in children." So I thought on this Sunday afternoon when we are meeting, we should really reflect on what he said in 2015, more than 10 years back. So in the last so many years, you would have seen, as Rajesh ji just now explained, so much has happened in really enhancing S&T ecosystem. So many missions have been launched. In this very hall, we had a meeting on One Nation, One Subscription, which was announced few months back. We had ANRF launched, and the programs are on the rollout. National Quantum Mission, Cyber Physical System, BioE3, Deep Ocean, AI Mission. You name it, in any critical and emerging technology, India has come forward to reflect its intentions and put the right resources and the ecosystem to really galvanize the entire community. So in this effort, along with all these policies and financial support which has been given, we also need to look at, as was mentioned, the processes to really deliver the outcome. And several researchers have given feedback on key challenges in S&T institutions in the country. So we had feedback from them, and it was also discussed in minister's monthly meeting sometime back, which Honorable Minister takes with all the science department and along with what are the issues. So there also some of these issues have come. How the processes, which of course were introduced with good intentions and with good uh, feel, but how they can be made more easier for the ease of doing science. So lot of discussions have happened, and uh, uh, the only thing which I wanted to mention, which is mentioned in the brief note, so our office took the lead to consolidate all the views which were being expressed. We sought inputs from all IITs. 13 IITs responded. All the IISc, national labs, DST labs, CSIR labs, DBT labs, and Indian Academy of Sciences, which did a brainstorming with all the UGC, NAC universities, central state universities, and many institutions. So they had conducted a brainstorming session and they gave a report. And all this have been put together in making this report, ease of doing R&D, which was submitted. And DST secretary has has also written notes on this. How do we ease the do the ease of science? So I thought at this stage I'll also thank the people from our office who have been involved. Dr. Mani is here, and few others who have really been trying to gather what are all the hurdles which we need to address. So this is a collective effort of all the departments, all the people who are involved, and I would like to thank each one of them and all the people who gave feedback to really come to this stage. All things have not been done. Some are still in the pipeline, and I am sure more will happen. So the inputs, as will be explained very briefly, they have been put under procurement, financial, faculty hiring, and infrastructure development. And good news is that there is a very positive response of the authorities to address all this. And our honorable minister has been playing in the background all the roles which need to be done. So I thought I will not take more time, but just to put on record, thanks to all the stakeholders in arriving at consensus, and authorities who have agreed to look into the suggestions of the scientific community and address them. So thank you once again, and we will be happy to answer any clarifications.
Thank you, sir. Now, thank you. Now I request Mr. Sushil Kumar, Sunil Kumar, Additional Secretary, Department of Science and Technology, to make a presentation.
Thank you. Thank you. With the permission of Honorable Minister of State, Dr. Jiten Singh, and the other dignitaries on dais, Principal Scientific Advisor, Professor Sood, Secretary DBT, as well as Secretary DST, Dr. Rajesh Gokhale, the Principal Director General, my colleagues from Department of Science and Technology, Biotechnology, other research labs, and most importantly, our friends from media. A very good afternoon to you all. I'll make a brief presentation taking you through some of the challenges which were being felt by the scientific fraternity, by the community of researchers, which as PSA sir and Dr. Gokhale sir gave you some background, with cohesive efforts at different levels, and particularly the stewardship of Honorable Minister and PSA sir, there has been some breakthroughs in the recent past for which we have gathered today morning. To give you the background, the context of this presentation, there was a report submitted by the Economic Advisory Council to the Honorable Prime Minister, India at 2047, in which chapter 12, they talked about reforming research and development in public institutions in India. As PSA sir pointed out, his office compiled a report on the challenges before the scientific community in April 25, which was also presented to various quarters. As was pointed out, the community, the researcher community, a lot of feedback were coming through various channels, some of them even resorted to social media, which you are aware of. So in the backdrop of all this, the challenges which emerged out and in a focused manner, which was presented to the authorities for the reforms that were required. Some of the breakthroughs that we have been able to achieve is the reform that was required in the global tender inquiry system. I think some very unique and particular relaxations in general financial rules and relaxations related to procurement using government e-marketplace portal. All this we expect will make the life of our scientific community easy when it comes to doing research. When we talk of global tender inquiry, many of you would be aware that as a Make in India initiative, the processes that were put in place did not allow below rupees 200 crore for people outside the local, let us say, manufacturers. It was meant to encourage local manufacturers, the MSME sector, those who are producing or manufacturing domestically. But when it came to, let us say, a scientific side, the research and development community side, it was felt that many of the high-end specialized research equipments were not being manufactured in India. As of now, as you know, we are still in the process. We are trying to become a product nation, and while a lot of initiatives are being taken in that direction, we are still not yet there. And so GT was hindering our processes. And the processes that were put in place were taking a lot of time. So this was one challenge that was felt. Another was related to general financial rules. You would be aware that there are methodologies related to the amount for which the procurement is to be made, and the current limit used to be up to rupees 1 lakh. I mean, you could make those purchases without quotation. Then there was the provision for local purchase committee, limited tender and advanced tender. So this was another area where from the feedback that we received from the community, we felt some improvements can be made there. And lastly, the government e-marketplace, you know, it's an initiative by the government of India. It's a major initiative whereby a lot of efficiency, a lot of transparency, objectivity is being infused in the public procurement process. While the portal has grown and it is proving to be a very important procurement portal in government, again, when it came to the scientific community, to the researcher community, it was felt that there were some unique challenges related to this community, and particularly, as I mentioned earlier, the high-end specialized research equipments were not listed there. The preferences that were being given to the local manufacturers in terms of margin of purchase preference, sometimes there was, I think, scope for some ambiguity there, which was also on some occasions were manipulated by some of the vendors. So it was thought that maybe getting out of the GEM procurement process, getting some relaxation there will serve the dual purpose of the initiative of the government as well as making the life of the scientific researchers easy. So in this backdrop, I think some breakthroughs have been made. So I'll rest there and I'll over to now. Thank you.
Thank you, Sunil Kumar ji. Now I request Dr. Jitendra Singh, Union Minister of State, Independent Charge of Science and Technology, Earth Sciences, and Minister of State in the Prime Minister's Office, Department of States and Department of Atomic Energy, to address the media.
Thank you, Mr. Oja. Principal Scientific Advisor to the Government of India, Professor Sood, Dr. Rajesh Gokhale, Sunil Kumar ji, friends from the fraternity, friends from media. As was mentioned by the Director General in the beginning, this press meet was initially scheduled to happen on the 13th, and there was no official ban on not having it, but the moods were so dampened that the morning I received a call from the Principal Scientific Advisor. He says nobody feels like going in for a press meet. So sensing the mood of everybody in the society across the nation, it was decided not to hold it that day. And therefore, I also have to beg apology for causing inconvenience for you all to be here on a Sunday afternoon. But considering the importance of the subject and also the urgency to disseminate it as early as possible, particularly among the youth across the length and breadth of this country, because this has a lot of stake with the young aspirants, youth scholars, young startups, young innovators, and also young scholars in different institutes and universities. And therefore, we thought the earlier we go about with this, better it would be. At the same time, I also have to register my appreciation of a very Herculean task accomplished by the Principal Scientific Advisor and his team in gathering inputs across the country from different sections of society. As he was mentioning, as many as 13 IITs. As you would appreciate, we have 23 IITs now. So out of that, as many as 13 could be elicited to provide their inputs and also the problems that they face. And at the same time, I would also like to mention that though this press meet is being conducted by the Ministry of Science and Technology, but the ramifications of this go beyond that. So it is highly, highly relevant to the Ministry of Higher Education. And in fact, I think more than the number of institutions that fall in the purview of science and technology, there are larger number of institutions falling in the purview of the higher education, whether that be the IITs, the various institutes, even the NITs. And as many of you would have noticed in the social media, the last several months and also several years, we would get these kind of inputs about young scholars complaining of the dispensation of the funds not happening on time. And even though this government headed by Prime Minister Modi had introduced the options like GEM portal with all the sincerity to bring in more of transparency and objectivity, but at the same time, you would appreciate that Prime Minister Modi is also very cautious about ensuring ease of innovation, ease of as of today may not have evolved. It might happen in the course of time, but till then, we could not have let our youngsters be put to any kind of inconvenience. And therefore, as I have to also profusely thank the Honorable Prime Minister and the PMO, this would not have been possible without the cognizance of the Honorable Prime Minister. But as all of us know, Prime Minister is known to have the capacity to break many taboos of the past. In fact, this government has also done away with as many as 1,600 rules in the past. And I have been a witness to that because I also deal with the DOPT. And so this is also in the same spirit that we are going ahead. And incidentally, this is also the time when the government is completing 11 years of its being in the office. And as India moves from a service-driven economy to an innovation-driven economy, we have no other option but to focus on innovation. And focusing on innovation is no